Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good so far. Welcome back to Blind Hyuga, Naruto's Celestial Legacy. Before we dive into the action of Chapter 3, I need to share something honest with you. This project, a full 3-hour cinematic audio drama, is the hardest thing I've ever created. It takes immense time to write, generate all the separate character voices, and assemble the sound design. To be honest, I was really expecting a few audience drawback, but as the current way the wind is flowing, it really feels discouraging as a writer. But I believe my audience and the newcomers who are watching this, I thank you from the deepest of my heart. I am giving this series everything I have because I truly believe in this story. But to be completely transparent, the support so far has been difficult. Seeing low like counts and hardly any comments on the first 2 chapters is discouraging. And it makes finding the motivation to complete the final hours of the script challenging. If you are listening to this right now, you are the foundation of this community. If you genuinely love this story and want to see Naruto and Hinata complete their celestial destiny, I need you to fuel it. It takes 10 seconds. Please hit the like button right now and leave a comment telling me what you think of Blind Naruto's new site. Your support is the only way this final epic climax gets finished. Now for the story, you're listening to Chapter 3, The Moon's Shadow. In the last chapter, Naruto and Hinata forged the twin celestial fists, but their secret power was unveiled to the heavens. Now the full-scale invasion is underway. The Hyuga clan is in chaos, and the fate of their most sacred scroll, the key to the pure Tenseigan, hangs in the balance. Prepare yourself. The final conflict is imminent. Chapter 3, The Moon's Shadow. The Hyuga compound was unusually tense that evening. Servants moved in hushed tones, and the wide courtyards, usually alive with the rhythmic sounds of sparring, were quiet as though the very walls held their breath. The elders sat gathered in their hall, speaking in low, venom-laced voices. To them, the clan's only shame had always been the blind boy, Naruto, the outcast they had banished. They clung to the fragile belief that with him gone, their bloodline would remain untarnished. Yet they were blind in a far crueler way. Blind to the storm brewing not in Konoha, but in the heavens above. Far away on the cold silver surface of the moon, Sora the strategist watched through a veil of lunar chakra. Where Toneri sought devotion and Akito craved destruction, Sora dealt in precision and cunning. Her goal was not to crush Konoha directly, but to unravel it from within. The Hyuga Scroll of Forbidden Jutsu, an artifact locked deep within the clan's archives, was the key she needed to stabilize Seigen's weapon. Without it, their celestial project would falter. With it, Earth would burn. Tonight, her plan was to cloak theft in chaos, to make it appear as though the Hyuga were tearing themselves apart. Meanwhile, far from the arrogance of the elders, 2 figures trained in secret. Naruto stood barefoot in the grass, his eyes unseeing but glowing faintly with the unique energy of his perception. Hinata circled him, her stance elegant and precise, the embodiment of the Yukin's grace. Together they had been forging something new, the twin celestial fists. Where Hinata's form was steady and refined, Naruto's was wild, brimming with Uzumaki vitality and guided by a sensory map that saw without seeing. Each strike, each counter, was a harmony of difference. They were preparing for a destiny neither of them dared name aloud. But peace never lasted. Naruto's senses rippled suddenly, like stones cast into still water. He flinched, his head snapping toward the Hyuga compound. A cold, foreign energy unfurled across the village, spreading like frost. Hinata's Byakugan flared open, just in time to witness it. Strange, crystalline seals slamming into the courtyards, pinning Hyuga warriors to the ground. The moonlit seals shimmered with lunar energy, not ink, and no ordinary Yukin master could move against them. The proud Hyuga were frozen like insects in glass. Panic erupted. Elder Hiroshi, blinded by suspicion, screamed accusations at the branch house. Guards turned their blades on one another, convinced rebellion was at hand. Screams echoed through the compound as kin struck kin, the bonds of family unraveling in an instant. And then, into the storm, strode a silver-haired shinobi. Kakashi Hatake, dispatched by the Hokage, appeared at the compound gates. His Sharingan spun, analyzing the battlefield. To ordinary eyes, it was chaos. Hyuga against Hyuga, madness in motion. But Kakashi saw deeper. Threads of cold, alien chakra were coiled around their bodies, manipulating them like puppets. The sheer power needed to control so many was staggering. His expression hardened behind the mask. "This isn't rebellion," Kakashi murmured, his tone cool and analytical. "The chakra signature, it's too cold, too synthetic. This is external." Even for him, this was too much to face alone. Reluctantly, Kakashi retreated into the shadows. Someone needed to warn the Hokage of what was truly descending upon Konoha. At the compound's heart, Neji Hyuga took command. The genius of the main branch stood tall, every inch the prodigy who had long believed destiny to be absolute. His Byakugan blazed as he faced the glowing seals. "This chaos ends now," he declared, his voice ringing with arrogance. 64 palms. He struck, his hands blurred into motion, palms crashing into the seals with devastating precision. For an instant, it seemed his genius might prevail. But the moonlit seals were not bound by Earth's rules. They drank in his chakra, freezing his tenketsu one by one. Neji staggered, horror spreading across his face as the realization dawned. His perfect technique was useless. His body crumpled, humiliated, bound not by force, but by something far crueler. Disruption of destiny itself. Then came the echo of hurried footsteps. Naruto and Hinata burst into the courtyard. To Naruto's perception, the seals shimmered like delicate glass lattices, intricate and fragile. They were not ink, but crystallized energy, and energy could be broken. His movements blurred as he slammed his palms into the seals, Uzumaki vitality exploding with each strike. One by one, the lunar bindings shattered. Neji's eyes widened as freedom rushed back into his body. "That technique, it's impossible," Neji gasped, still straining against lingering paralysis. "You shattered it with one touch." Naruto didn't stop moving. "We don't have time. Hinata, go to the archive. Akito's here. I'll draw him away." The ground shook as though his words had summoned the monster. Akito, the berserker, dropped into the courtyard like a meteor, dust exploding around his massive frame. His gaze locked on Naruto, and his voice thundered like war drums. "The blind taint," Akito roared. "Saigon wished to destroy you, but I will crush you with my own hands. Show me the strength of your heresy." Naruto darted forward, striking with all the force of his training. But Akito was a fortress wrapped in celestial armor, his body shielded by an Otsutsuki density no human blow could pierce. Naruto's fists slammed against it, each impact echoing like steel on stone. Pain lanced up his arms. He was outmatched, barely able to stay alive. "He's too dense," Naruto thought through clenched teeth. "My Juken is too wide. I need a hinge, a weak spot." He changed tactics. Instead of seeking to break through, he struck again and again, precise and measured. Each blow was not just force, but a mark, a microscopic tag of chakra placed at specific points. His perception painted a map of Akito's armor, invisible to the naked eye. Hinata, cut off from the archives by chaos, returned to his side. Her Byakugan caught the faint glimmers of Naruto's invisible tags. Recognition sparked. She remembered fragments from the forbidden scroll she had studied in secret. Those marks weren't random. They formed a pattern, and within it lay the armor's weakest vein of energy. "Hinata!" Naruto shouted, voice hoarse with strain. "The third tag from the left. The density is lowest there. Now!" Her eyes hardened. This was no longer the timid girl overshadowed by her clan. This was a warrior. She surged forward, chakra flooding her palms. 8 trigrams, 128 palms. Her strikes fell like a storm, guided by Naruto's map, each palm landing with perfect precision. The armor groaned, its celestial lattice overloading under the twin assault. With a final shattering pulse, the shield collapsed, and Akito staggered, immobilized, his massive frame crashing to the ground. For one brilliant moment, the courtyard was theirs. The twin celestial fists had triumphed, a union of blind perception and Byakugan precision that surpassed the limits of tradition. But victory was a cruel illusion. From the shadows of the archive emerged Sora. Her expression was calm, calculating, a predator satisfied with her hunt. In her hands lay the Hyuga scroll of forbidden jutsu. "Magnificent," she said softly, her mocking voice cutting deeper than any blade. "Blind prodigy, your alliance is extraordinary, but your distraction was appreciated. While you wasted yourselves on the brute, I claimed the true prize." Naruto's chest heaved, sweat and blood mixing on his skin. He took a step forward, but Sora was already fading, her form dissolving into lunar mist. "You defeated Akito," she whispered as she vanished, "but you have already lost the war." The courtyard fell silent, littered with debris, unconscious clansmen, and the wreckage of pride. Neji lay staring at the stars, shaken by his failure. Hinata's fists trembled, bloodied from her assault. Naruto stood at the center, jaw clenched, fury burning in his blind eyes. The Hyuga's greatest secret was gone. The Pure Moon Order now held the weapon that could tip the balance of the world. And though Naruto had proven his strength, he had also tasted the bitter truth of war. Sometimes even victory was another kind of defeat. The aftermath of Sora's invasion was a symphony of chaos, denial, and unspoken fear. Konoha, once the vibrant heart of the ninja world, was now stained by a haunting lunar energy, pale and cold, creeping across the streets like silent, spectral fingers. Buildings still smoldered from attacks that had shattered the foundation of everyday life, and the air was thick with the bitter scent of smoke, ash, and blood. Kakashi's grim report, detailing crystalline seals imbued with celestial power, the divine armor of an alien war, and the apocalyptic name Otsutsuki, was the match that finally set the world ablaze with panic. Every village, every hidden corner of the shinobi world now understood that nothing they had prepared could rival the looming threat. The Hokage wasted no time. An emergency 5-Kage summit was called, not to debate policy or strategy, but to face the naked truth. The extinction of humanity might be staring them directly in the eyes. The summit convened in the shadow of the Hyuga compound's ruins, forcing the assembled Kage to breathe the air of defeat and despair. It was not a council of equals, but a cage of apex predators, each one sensing weakness, each one calculating and predatory, the slightest tremor a reason to strike. Naruto, guided by his acute chakra perception, felt the room not as a gathering of people, but as a storm of intent, a tide of cold, focused energy ready to crush anything weak. The weight of combined fear, doubt, and latent skepticism from the world's most powerful. Ninja Masters pressed against his chest, nearly suffocating him. "Naruto," internal thought, desperate whisper, "it's so much darker than the elders. Your chakra feels like mountains waiting to fall. I can feel every doubt, every cold judgment, every blade of criticism aimed at Konoha and my family. It's suffocating, yet I must not falter. I can't." Before them lay the immobile body of Akito the Berserker, a chilling, celestial artifact that shimmered faintly in the torchlight. Its lifeless eyes, like crystallized orbs of another world, reminded every Kage present of the power they were now powerless to fully control. Raikage, a tower of skeptical muscle, slammed his fist onto the table with such force that the wood quivered under the shockwave. "Silence is no longer an option, Hokage," he roared, his voice a physical blow reverberating through the chamber. "Your secrets have invited a war of gods to our doorstep." Why was this forbidden scroll not secured under global lock and key? Why did we learn of a celestial invasion from a mere jonin? Tsuchikaga Onoki, voice ancient, weary, cutting through the anger. The Raikage speaks truth. These energy signatures are undeniable. They reek of the Sage's era. But your counter, Konoha? You present a paralyzed statue in an empty vault. We need strategy, not prophecy. The tension in the chamber coiled like a living serpent, ready to snap, ready to shatter the fragile unity holding the summit together. Then, with a measured grace that silenced even the most volatile, Jiraiya stepped into the spotlight. His presence radiated wisdom and authority, the kind born of decades that had witnessed empires rise and fall. The air seemed to bend around him, carrying the weight of prophecy and inevitability. Jiraiya, voice firm, prophetic, swelling with conviction. The solution lies not in our bijou, nor in the armies of our villages. The solution lies in the bloodline the Hyuga clan once tried to discard. The Otsutsuki's ultimate goal is the pure Tenseigan, the weapon of absolute genocide. Conventional warfare will fail. We must fight this with destiny itself. The child of true lineage must stand against the celestial blade. He stepped forward, gesturing to Naruto and Hinata. The sight of the blind boy and the shy girl facing the most powerful rulers of the ninja world was simultaneously shocking and awe-inspiring. Naruto stood tall, his internal fear channeled into the bedrock of resolve, his spine rigid like the trunks of the great trees of Konoha. Hinata stood slightly behind him, her entire chakra flow intertwined with his, forming a subtle yet unyielding shield that resonated with protective energy, an invisible fortress of trust and bond. Naruto, voice clear, though strained, projecting absolute conviction. I know what I have to do. My father gave his life to buy us this chance. I carry his seal and my mother's vitality. I will go to the moon. I will confront Seigan, and I will stop the Tenseigan. I will not fail across the world. The shinobi forces mobilized. Sasuke Uchiha, ever brooding and calculating, returned to Konoha under orders to assist in global defense. He observed the blind boy's relentless training with a mixture of scorn and begrudging admiration, noting Hinata's quiet preparation of medical supplies with his usual icy scrutiny. Sasuke, voice low, cynical, yet tinged with warning. Don't let his foolish hero complex kill you. That boy's power is reckless. He survives only because your eyes are sharper than his ego. Hinata, voice firm, meeting his stare. Naruto-kun does not need sight to be a hero, Sasuke-kun. He needs me as his anchor. I am the atmosphere that keeps him from burning out. We are enough, Sasuke said nothing further, though his gaze lingered. A quiet acknowledgement of the bond that might defy reason. Around them, the remaining members of Konoha's elite, Shikamaru, Kiba, Shino, Ino, Choji, and Sakura, worked with precision. Sakura's seals prepared for the injured. Shikamaru orchestrated contingencies across hidden villages. And the last impossible hope of the world rested upon two young outcasts, their courage brighter than any weapon forged in history. Finally, the moment arrived. Naruto and Hinata stood before the moon gate, the terrifying vortex of Toneri's creation, churning with raw, unstable energy. Kushina's hands trembled as she imparted the final, forbidden Uzumaki seal onto her son. A last resort anchor, her silent tears a testament to the legacy and love that fueled him. Jiraiya, sentinel of prophecy, blessed them with words that bore the weight of the world's destiny. Jiraiya, voice warm, final, prophetic. Go, my students. Claim the celestial destiny your father gave his life to begin. Go and become the bridge between earth and moon. Hinata, voice resolute, chakra entwining with Naruto's. We go, Sensei. We will return. Naruto, voice absolute, embracing the fear and responsibility. Let's go, Hinata. A general must fall, a bloodline must be redeemed, and a world saved. We are the twin celestial fists. They step through the Tensagen Chakra Gate, the final hope of the shinobi world vanishing into the vast, terrifying silence of the void. Narrator, the stage is set. The final confrontation awaits. In the coming segments of Chapter 4, the celestial duel begins. Naruto, guided by his blind sight and his partner's unwavering courage, must unlock the ultimate power of the Tensagen, or witness the Earth succumb to celestial annihilation. You have just completed Chapter 3 of Blind Hyuga, Naruto's Celestial Legacy. The stakes have been set. Brilliance of the twin celestial fists. Sora the strategist has won the crucial battle, and the Hyuga's forbidden scroll is now in the hands of the Pure Moon Order. We will witness the final, poignant goodbyes, the brutal training with Jiraiya, the confrontation with a cynical Sasuke before Naruto and Hinata step through the Tensagen Chakra Gate for the final duel on the moon. If you are listening on YouTube, the saga is nearing its end of the first arc of series. Please remember, your likes, comments, and shares are the only things that fuel completion of these final, massive segments. Show your support for the final battle